Well, hello and welcome to the Bottom Line Me podcast, where we like to talk about common sales mistakes or challenges. I'm Ian Ellert, and today I'm very excited to have my colleague Denise McBride pinch hitting for Brenda Nelson. Denise has been with Old Republic Title since 2016, and in her current role, she serves as an assistant vice president and an instructional designer. She also manages, coordinates, develops, and is a major contributor to our online learning platform. Denise, it's so great to have you here.
Thanks, Anne. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're really excited to have this conversation with you today. So, what we wanted to talk about is online learning. And I guess a good place to start would be, can you tell us a little bit about what is online learning?
Absolutely. So, when most people think about online learning, they think about structured courses that they take online, maybe through a learning management system. But online learning is so much more than that. It could be anything from listening to a podcast like Bottom Line Me. Everyone tuning in right now is actually engaging in online learning. What a thing. It's really cool. It could be anything like reading a book on Kindle. It can be audio books, listening to that. Other things can be like listening to a TED Talk, going on YouTube to listen and learn about different things. And there's also a whole different category. Anything with that media related for online learning would fall under that.
Hmm. Well, thanks. That's I hadn't thought about things like just reading a book or listening to a podcast in that arena, but that makes perfect sense. So, what are some of the benefits of e-learning or online learning, and how can a salesperson in particular make the most of online learning?
That's a great question. So the one of the benefits to online learning is it's accessible 24/7. It's available at their fingertips at any time that is convenient for them. And another benefit is there are no limits. They can, like I said, they can watch different things. They can be on different types of platforms, but mainly they get to choose their topic. And that's the beauty of online learning because they basically focus on things that motivate them. And again, adheres to their schedule and they're having the media right at their fingertips.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about the 24/7 aspect of it. And, I think particularly for sales support people who oftentimes have what I'd call downtime when they're traveling or driving, that it's a great opportunity to tap into some online learning and instead of worrying about the traffic, I guess I would say. So, but it's pretty difficult, I think, for a lot of salespeople that want to continue to grow or educate themselves or develop a new skill when they're trying to juggle a schedule. So, what are some of the things that you would look for if you're a salesperson and you're trying to add online learning into your schedule on a regular basis, or even on a daily basis?
So the first and foremost, I would recommend that you find something that motivates you, something that you're really interested in. Start small. A lot of people think, and myself included, you think you're going to do learning, you have to sit down, you have to devote a lot of time, but that's not really necessary. And the other part is if you find something that is really interesting to you, you're going to want to do it. So you can basically pick 5 minutes a day and start with that. You'd be amazed, by doing that, how that'll start increasing, because you'll engage in it, you'll start loving it, it'll become part of your daily routine. If I can just share a quick story, I engaged in some online learning recently, and my goal was to learn how to speak Hungarian. And the reason is I have family in that country. So I started out, with the traditional mindset, then I had to become fluent. I needed to find the right app, everything else. And for about a year, I just crashed and burned all the time. So I finally decided, okay, what is it that will motivate me, to actually learn what type of app do I need and how much time do I want to invest? And I came across an app after a lot of research and I found something that has engagement. It allows me to interact with it and there's no pressure, So I began doing it 5 minutes a day. As I suggested, just go ahead and, give yourself five. Anybody can do anything for 5 minutes,
Mhm.
And what I learned after about a week was how much I was retaining and then how I was starting to become good at it. So I didn't stop. I didn't quit like I did in the other attempts that I did.
Well, it sounds like you took it in bite-sized chunks too, which I think probably, particularly for people that, have to juggle a schedule, that may be really one of the benefits of being able to take advantage of some of those things. But
Yeah, and it is an adjustment. Salespeople, can be competitive, and I'm competitive as well. So you're kind of looking at the goal. I want to finish this and be done. But once you start engaging in those, like you said, the little like side chunks, you can actually, see that progress happening. And now I don't even worry about, getting to the finish line. I'm just enjoying the journey.
interesting. One of the words that you just used when you were describing your experience was engagement. And, you know, most salespeople are accustomed to traditional live training, rallies and workshops. And in my experience, anyway, the interaction and the ability to collaborate with others was really part of what made it attractive and certainly effective and helped me to retain it. So, how do you replace that in an online environment?
So there's various techniques and things that you can build into online learning. So it really depends on what type, that you're engaging in. So if you're looking at courses that are on such as a learning management system, they do have the option to have online chat rooms. There's some web-based communications, similar to, Zoom or webinars and things like that, where there's rooms you can go into. So that's more of the live version of online learning, where you're actually in a room with other people. But in the online aspect, there are things that can be included in the actual courses or the training where you can accomplish a task. So if you're a salesperson and taking a course, you may have an assignment to go ahead and take what you learned and do a specific task by meeting with a client and asking them certain questions or having discussion or exploring things with them. So that would bring that collaboration into that course. And then there's things like gamification, where you can put different activities, tasks, and things like that that are very interactive, and it just makes the learner immerse in what they're actually learning.
Gamification. Well, that's a new one for me. Um, what is it and how does it help somebody learn?
So most people, when they think about gamification, they think of tracking, their progress and things like that on an app. And that can definitely be a form of gamification, but that's more of the baseline. They involve baseline things like badges, competing in leaderboards, just seeing what your progress is. But it's actually more than that. It includes adding games or game-like features and elements to something in the task or doing some problem solving. It could be, doing flashcards, flipping things, moving things into different locations, anything again that engages the learner and allows them to participate in the whole experience.
Interesting. It just reminds me of I have a grandchild and we play a board game called the Game of States. And I never thought, I mean, we do it just for fun, but she actually is learning. So I can see how using some kind of gamification could help even us adult learners to retain things or to learn new things. So we'll have to have you back to talk a little bit more about gamification, I think, because it sounds to me like that is a conversation all on its own.
Yep, definitely one that I'm totally interested in doing. So I would love to do
So
that.
awesome. Awesome. Hmm. Well, I think we're just about out of time for today. So on our show, we like to end with the bottom line. So do you have any bottom line tips or tricks for us that can help us to take advantage of online learning?
Yeah, I would say check out what Old Republic has. We've worked and invested a lot of time in different online trainings and a lot of different products that we have out there. So reach out to your Old Republic title sales representative, and they'll be able to walk you through everything that we have available.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, Denise, this was really very enjoyable and quite enlightening and informative. So I want to thank you for taking some time today to join us. And to our audience, thank you for being with us today. And together, let's hope to continue to learn, grow, and prosper. Thanks, everyone.